Hey guys, so we're at a property. What's the name of the subdivision?
Augusta Pines.
Are you sure?
Oh, Lago Woods.
Well, we're in Lago Woods or something like that. These houses are huge. We're talking, you know, right at $1 million, multi-million. This house right here, yeah, it's on 0.75 of an acre. We're gonna walk you through. This is a major overgrown here. Okay, he said it hasn't been mowed in about 6 months. So it's going to be hard to see some detail. So Caden's going to walk in some areas and it'll be, you know, real thick. This is solid. We can mow this, Caden, as long as we get it before it really rains. Okay, so there's a lot. And when you get in the backyard is horrendous. But look at these edging here. Look how much edging we need to do. So we got all this edging here that we're going to have to do. A lot of edging, go through a few blades, some bushes that need to be trimmed. Come on, man, you're in the way. It's losing focus. Flower beds that need to be attended to. Look at all those weeds in the cracks. Look at this grass right here. Weeds or whatever it is. Everybody else's here property gets cut every week. These people bought the house about a year ago and haven't moved in yet. Whatever they got going on, hopefully they move in. But a lot of edging here. It's pretty bad. The backyard, they have two pools in the backyard. A turtle is living in one of them, they said. These bushes that need to be trimmed, those guys are big. The sun's set behind us, so it's really making this light harsh, so I'm sure it does not look that well on camera. Pressure washing of the driveway. Got weeds in the flower bed here. Major weeds have taken over. Look at that. Okay. All through this entire flower bed. So what he wants to start with first is mowing. Let's go take a look at the mowing. Here's a little bitty side here. Now we can put up to probably a 50-inch back here, 52-inch back here. Okay. Alright, remember we're 0.75 of an acre on here, the big gate. Okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit. Let you guys absorb it. Alright. Big backyard. His property fence is way down there. That's like 100 yards. Lot of overgrown grass. And it's not like it's super tall. The tallest is what, maybe 2.5 feet? In some areas, but it's super thick, and you know, we'll end up bringing a couple sets of blades. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so we have to go up on that hill. The mower can't get back there, so we got to trim all that down there, all up there around that area. Tall grass, definitely open discharge. We'll be running both the 36 and the 48s back here. Now here's some tall weeds there. There's weeds right there in that flower bed, 5 feet tall. I stood next to that weed right there. I'm 5'10", it's 6 feet. Okay. A lot of pressure washing back there. All this mowing here, these weeds. Okay. There's one of the pools here. There's another pool right there. And they have turtles living there. Alright, so here. Remember, I'm 5'10". Look at that. So here we got Caden. It's almost up to his knees. Thick stuff. Thick stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and make our way over here. Alright. Alright, so they want us to trim the bushes. We're going to trim those bushes, okay, and then go all the way to that window there, and then we're going to, I guess, just pull those weeds out. I don't really know. There's a lot of work here. Okay. I don't even know where to start. And you got trees growing over here, trying to bury trees, Chinese talent, whatever they're called. All this heavy, thick grass out there. It's super thick, guys. Once we get it on camera and we start filming, and then we start cutting, and then you see the grass that's being discharged, you're gonna be like, dude, that's insane. Okay, tall weeds. This side of the house, there's a gate on both sides, but the other one is wider than this. Actually, the 48 could probably go through that too. But you got these bushes here. I mean, you just got so much. Listen to this. You step in the grass and you can't even see your shoe. That's how thick and bad it is. Shit. There's a golf course right there, which is pretty cool. Guys, this is mega overgrown. Now it's 0.75 of an acre, okay? So let's look at it this way. I charge an acre $120. $120 is what I charge for a property that's regularly maintained, whether it's every week or every 2 weeks. So, hold this for a second, will you? Just don't touch the sides. Alright, hold on. So I can look you guys in the eyeballs. You know I like to look eyeballs to eyeballs. Okay, so for regular property, looking at 120, but with the overgrowth you have here. Okay, so if I was to mow this property and it was regularly maintained every week or every 2 weeks, what do you guys think? There's flower beds to edge and trim around, front yard, backyard edging. Now remember, I'm probably gonna have to do this by myself a couple of times because Caden's gonna be going to school soon.
I thought you were gonna save this stuff for the weekend.
Huh?
I thought you were gonna save this stuff for the weekend.
Well, it just depends. So, you know, if I did this, I'm thinking $85. Whether we come out every week or every 2 weeks, because there is a lot to do here.
And think about it, you have to maintain all the bushes,
Right.
all the flower beds.
Well, that's different. That's just mow. We're talking about just mowing.
Oh.
Just mowing. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna say 85 for weekly. Okay, 85 weekly, or 100 every 2 weeks. Okay, or no, what? Maybe I don't know. What do you guys think? 85 every week or 120 every 2 weeks. That's how much more. 95, 05, 15, 20. That's $35 more dollars. That's $35 more dollars.
Probably want it done every
Huh?
week anyways.
All right, so every 2 weeks it's 120, or every week it's 85. There's a lot to trim around, dude. I mean, look at all the trees, you know, all the trees. I mean, if Caden wasn't so tall, I wouldn't be able to see him. That's how bad the grass is. Look at that. Hey, Caden, go ahead and walk through the grass. That way I can get the camera on you, buddy. Look at that. This is thick stuff. Thick. Look at that. This is going to stripe so good, dude. It's probably not going to be green because it'll be so short. Well, it'll be 4.5, but it'll be a shock to the grass. Jeez. Let's walk over here. All right, so, oh, look at that. Jeez.
Up to my knees.
Yeah, that's thick stuff, man.
What in the world?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what are you guys thinking to charge for this overgrown property to get it under control? I mean, flower beds, we gotta, you know, edge the best we can. We're talking about just cutting grass. So just cutting grass, edging, trimming, you know, that's it. Nothing in the flower beds, nothing yet. Just mowing. You know, help me out here. I'm thinking like $300. What do you think, Caden?
I literally said 300 as soon as we got here.
Yeah, that's true, because that's a lot of work. You look at it this way. How long?
Think about it. The acre properties we do
Yeah.
are 120, right?
Right.
But there's hardly any weeding.
Right.
There's no edging.
No edging.
There's like maybe a couple passes of edging.
Yeah.
So it's really easy compared to this.
Yeah, we're out in about an
All
hour.
these fence lines got to be weeded. All this got to be weeded. These flower beds got to be edged.
Yeah.
All of this.
So
And then on the front too, all that's got to be edged. All that.
I'm thinking maybe more than 300, because how long do you think it'll take us to do it?
just to mow, it'll probably take us
Yeah, because
an
we'll have.
hour and a half.
Yeah, because we'll have to make several passes to
Yeah.
cut the cut grass, to recut the cut grass. Oh.
And think about all the wear and tear it's gonna be.
You think 400? So let's look at it this way. Let's just say we make this our first property that day. Okay. Now this is real conversation. Here's how you figure out things. Okay. Let's just say we make this our first cut for Wednesday morning. Okay. So well, let's just say we're here 5 hours. Okay. I mean, how long do you think it take? How many hours do you think it take us?
3.
At least 3. Gosh, I'm thinking more than that, brother.
I mean, if we had to do the ditches, yeah.
Yeah, we have to. We have to do everything.
No, like the ditches, like weed eating, like just straight weed eating. The ditches.
Well, they're not that big on
yeah,
that.
they're not bad.
No.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think it. I think it'll take us like maybe 30, 45 minutes to weed eat and edge everything.
Oh no, I think more, maybe 45 minutes. Yeah, I think we're gonna be here 4 hours, at least.
What if you charge, since we're using equipment, what your straight labor fee per hour is,
It's 65.
So why don't you slap that in half because we're using equipment, and then charge the straight labor fee for how long we're here
Well,
on
it doesn't.
top of the mow.
Well, normally, if I'm charging by the hour, it's 65, whether I'm using my equipment or not. It's if I'm going to go do something for somebody, I'm charging 65 an hour. I don't care if I'm hanging a ceiling fan, pulling weeds, or whatever. It's 65 an hour. So if we did it that way, we're here 4 hours. 65 times 4, what? Well, 65 times 2, if it was 60, that's 120. Is 130. 130 plus 130 is 260. And we were close, and that's just 2 hours.
That's 4 hours.
Oh, sorry, 4 hours. Yeah, sorry about that. 4 hours. No, yeah,
And
4
you
hours.
think about this grass is gonna eat up everything.
We'll need to bring blades. We'll have to switch blades probably once, maybe.
This is gonna eat like I told you how hard it was when we did that one property, and it
Yeah.
wasn't near as bad.
Yeah,
And this is the same
and this
grass.
is huge.
The
Yeah.
same exact grass.
Yeah. Gosh, so I'm thinking that we need to be around the 4, because look at it this way also. If they're normally getting it cut every week at 80 bucks, let's say 80 bucks, let's say 65 every week. And how many months has it gone without it?
6.
6 months without it. Okay, so 65 bucks every week times 6 months is a ton of money. So now that he's cutting it one time, he's still saving a ton of money. So he might as well, and he's got a big house. The guy's got Benjamins. Don't be afraid to ask for money. All right, so I'm gonna shoot him at 400 bucks. Because here's why. And guys, you need to listen up. We're charging extra for the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if our mower's going to break down. We don't know if damn mosquitoes. We don't know how long something's going to take, or what we're going to counter. I mean, just look at these branches here. That's going to be a pain to mow under right here. This low stuff. We're going to have to use trimmers.
We do this and have someone laser it.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So there's branches we need to cut. We need to talk about that. He wants price on the.
There's still excess mulch here too.
Oh yeah, look at that excess mulch right there. Yeah, we're open discharging this baby. Okay, guys, I'm thinking 400 bucks. 400 bucks. If we were here, 4 hours, and I'm paying him, now we're not doing any back-breaking work. None of this is back-breaking work.
Nope.
We're just mowing. That's it. Just mowing. Mowing and going and blowing and cutting and chilling and trimming and edging. I'm going to say $400. Okay? He can afford it. And since the last guy he had quit months ago and he hasn't been able to get anybody, he's had people come out and they've all said, no, we can't mow this. I can mow it because I've done worse than this and you guys have seen it. And I told the guy, I said, dude, we love overgrown properties. And I remember his voicemail call and said, hey, I have an overgrown property issue. Give me a call. You called the right number. You called Ghostbusters, buddy. That's me. So I'm going to tell him 400 bucks. And I'm going to tell him weekly 85 or bi-weekly 120. Both are a good deal, by the way.
I don't know. I feel like you charge more than that.
More than 80?
Benjamins.
Yeah.
You should charge him like $100 a week.
$100 a week? Okay. Well, let's hit him at 100 and a reserve at 85. Kid's good. All right. So let's keep on walking. All right. So we're going to hit him at $100 a week. How long do you think it'd take us to do it if it was not overgrown?
If we're moving, if this is the first property of the day, like an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, we'd both have to hit the trimmer and then both hit the mowers.
Because I'm thinking about it this way, it's almost an acre.
Yeah, it is.
And at Chuck's, that's not even an acre.
No, it's just under.
So
0.9 something.
And you still charge them 120.
20,
and we don't.
right.
We do some weed eating, right?
No, we don't. No weed eating. Oh, weed eating. Yes, weed eating. Yeah.
But no edging.
No edging.
Nothing. And we still charge them that per week.
Right, per week.
So I'm thinking more than 100.
Yeah, I want to know how fast this grass grows in a week.
Because all this has to be edged out.
Yeah.
All of this. Every week. All of this.
Yeah.
A crazy amount of weed eating and edging. All that's got to probably be edged out there too.
All right. So we're people staring us next door like we're fugitives, but they don't know we're actually here to solve the problem. That's them staring. Oh, they're right in there staring. I should walk over there.
Basketball court over there.
I know.
Like a full-fledged.
Isn't that cool? So the thing about when you're in these ritzy properties,
Oh, and also think
about people are want to know what's going on. You know, it doesn't mean they're rude. They're just curious. They haven't seen anybody here in forever. The guy's got HOA letters. I told him, I said, Tom, you're lucky HOA hasn't sold your house. He says, oh yes, I know. So, okay, I'm thinking $400 to mow it, to get it under control. After that, $100 a week. And then if he wants bi-weekly, he's looking at $150. And bi-weekly $150, $100 a week, bi-weekly.
All these cracks.
Yeah, we gotta get all these cracks. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This is a big project, guys. So you want to think about everything before you start pitching numbers to customers. You know, you can find out what the other guy charges, but at this point, it really doesn't even matter. So there's a couple of things. One,
I think about you're gonna do it right here, right now.
Yeah,
next week.
right. Next week, it's gonna be knocked out next week. And then, you know, he knows our reputation because of all of our reviews. That's why he called us. He lives in another state, by the way. He said, well, I found you guys on Google and you had high ratings, so I wanted to go with you. And plus, no one else would want to take the job. Okay, so the cracks in that back patio where the pool is, we could use our prosecutor spray on that. Okay, and then these cracks here too, where all these are here, we can do all that as well. Actually, I probably wouldn't even worry about wasting the prosecutor on those cracks because they're going to grow back anyways. You hit it with a trimmer. The back patio, it'll sit there more because of the siltcrete that's there between the tiles. And you spray that in there real heavy. Remember, when you use prosecutor, normally for wheat and grass, it tells you 2 ounces per 1 gallon of water. I go 4 in 1. 4 ounces of prosecutor per 1 gallon of water. I want it obnoxiously nasty for the grass and weeds. Okay, all right. So he's going to want that service. He wants the bushes in the back. I'm going to charge $100 back there just to trim those bushes. If he wants to trim the front bushes too, which he needs to because that's what everybody's seeing, we're looking at $200 just for that. And then trim the grass, get it all under control, $400. And then weekly cut, I think the kid said $100. If it's bi-weekly, I'm thinking what, $150?
Yeah, I was thinking weekly cut.
Okay. And then for the spray, the prosecutor spray, we can spray it once a month for a $25 charge extra for that back patio area. That's all you'll need. That way you don't have to waste time trimming, huh?
Before you charge the weekly cut, we should really see how long it takes us.
Yeah, that's true.
If we go on a weekly, it also, if it takes like an hour and a half or even 2 hours every week, it's got to be more.
Yeah. Let's go look more on this side, guys, before I cut the camera here.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, and it's not that it's huge, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot of trimming, a lot of edging. Where Chuck's, you know, there's not a lot to navigate around. You got flower bed, long flower bed here, edging and trimming. You know, even if you picture it as just not overgrown, just doing it regular, you know, there's just a lot. Let's go. I haven't even looked on this side of the house yet. Customer over there staring at us. What are they doing? I think they're staring at me because I'm wearing long sleeve shorts that don't match my shirt and boots. And I know I look out of place. So, yeah, good golf course you got. All right, it's a lot. You know, when we mow this, we have to make sure the discharge is going back into the lawn because people are gonna shit egg rolls. All right, I think I'm gonna cut it.
Dude,
This grass is so thick, guys. You know, if you want, man, should we just come do it tomorrow?
I don't know, I'm just saying that this grass sucks.
Yeah, okay. All right, guys, here's our final numbers that we're thinking. Let's get over here in the shade. See, we got all this right here. Right over there. Now remember, when you're in this type of neighborhood, everything needs to look good. Needs to look clean. Take your time. It's the front of the house again. Thing's enormous. Okay, I'm thinking $400 to do the house, to get it under control. And then $100 every week, minimum. $150 every 2 weeks. So that's a price break on him. And then $25 a month to spray prosecutor back there. $200 to the bushes in the front yard, backyard that are attached to the house. No? No.
You remember you charged $30 for those little section of bushes, right?
Okay, we'll figure out what we're going to charge on the bushes. I don't know. So you tell me what you guys would charge on this overgrown property to cut it as an overgrown property, and then what would you charge as a weekly cut and a bi-weekly cut? This is monster. This is going to get huge views on YouTube, just so you guys know, and you can bet we're going to film every bit of it. So I need y'all's support. We have over 1 million views. We're right at a little over 4,500 subs, I believe, maybe a tad under or over, I don't remember. But this video is going to be huge. So okay, guys, I'm heading out. We're going to call the customer back and see how it goes. I'm Kevin with Texas Veteran Power Outdoors.
I'm Caden.
That's Caden that likes to look at the ground when he's talking to people.
To help.
So we will see you guys soon. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to call the customer real quick. We're going to walk him through everything. I don't know the last time he was here to see everything, but he knows it's tall and hasn't been mowed in months. So this is the part of the conversation where the numbers that I'm going to tell him aren't necessarily the concrete numbers. They can be. So when you have a conversation with somebody on something like this that's this massive and overgrown, think in your mind, maybe charge a little higher, okay? And then they start to backpedal, I don't know, I can't, okay, well, you know, I can't afford that, this and that, or man, that's a lot more than what I thought. Okay, then you stop right there. Don't take offense to that. Remember, let's just say, like, I'm going to charge him $400, okay? And some of you guys would charge him more, and there's nothing wrong with more. I wouldn't take less than $400, but then again, I might. It just depends, because I'm also going to talk to him about weekly and bi-weekly rates. If it's weekly rates, I'll get some of that back, even bi-weekly. So, and then there's other projects here too. There's tree trimming, there's bush trimming, there's flower beds, pressure washing. There's a lot of other services here, so all of that matters too in your conversation with the customer. So I'm going to call him and we're going to talk about, I'm going to say, when was the last time you were out here? And then we're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to say, you know, I got some numbers. I'm curious, what did the last guy charge you for lawn service out here? And I don't care if he says $40 and say, dude, I'm actually shocked he would do that for $40. This is a huge place. Now he does know that I told him I charge acre properties $120 regular service every week. He says, okay, no problem. So he already knows that. I told him, hey, before I came out, you're looking at probably somewhere around 200, maybe more or less. I don't know till I get out there. Okay, no problem. But just so you know, Kevin, the grass is tall. So that tells me that he knows it's probably going to be more. So when you're having phone conversations with people, listen to what they're saying and listen to how they reply back to what you're saying, because sometimes that's a green light to you to know to raise your price. You have to be quick and you have to know what you're trying to listen for, okay? You don't want to shortchange yourself, you know. And let's just say your minimum on this property is 500. He says, yeah, there's no way. Okay, think about it this too. When I film this is going to bring me money on YouTube. Continual money. okay, that's constantly going to be bringing in revenue, some months more than others. So if you're into YouTube, that kind of thing, you can think about that too. I may make sure $400 on this. I'm going to make more than that every month off the video. That's another thing to think about. I mean, you don't have to think about it that way, but I'm just saying. I want to do this video because I want to do it because it's huge. I mean, do this property, and I want to film the video because I want you guys to see it. I want to share it with you. And I know there's a lot of you guys out there that like this kind of stuff. I mean, I do too. So, all right, phone conversation. We're about to call him back. Pay attention.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Texas Veteran Lawn Service. Maybe he'll answer.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Tom. All right, we just got done doing the walkthrough. Sorry that took a little longer than I thought. I just wanted to make sure I took a look at everything, you know, what we talked about and walking through the grass and stuff. When was the last time you were out here?
That's, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Okay. All right. So probably not, it probably hasn't grown a whole lot in the last 2 weeks compared to the first however long it's been since it's been cut. So you know how pretty overgrown it is. Okay. All right. Okay, so just so you know how much edging and mowing and trimming that needs to be done, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's an awful lot. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay. All right, so we're going to be here, you know, if we decide to do this, we're going to be here for a few hours. Now, when we're done, it's going to look really good, and it'll be up to par with everybody else's. So just for the mowing, the trimming, the edging, you know, just grass related, to get that under control, you're looking at $400.
Okay, well, that's reasonable.
Okay. As far as the bushes, are you sure you wouldn't rather trim the front bushes that people see instead of the back bushes where people don't see?
Oh, I would trim all, I guess.
Yeah, because, you know, HOA is going to, you know, they're going to hit you up for everything.
Yeah.
They're going to be a headache in your side until you get it under control. And then they're still going to have eyes on you like a hawk for a while until they know, you know, you're behaving good, Tom.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay.
I
So,
see.
all right. Well, so for us to trim all the bushes, now, do you want us to trim up the sago palms as well, or just the bushes?
Where is the palm? I forgot.
There's sago palms.
That's the,
There's sago palms all over the place. They're the ones that are kind of shorter to the ground, but they have these these things that come out.
well,
Oh,
okay. As long as they don't have branches coming out, I only care about the little branches that comes out, like kind of sticks out. That make it look pretty messy. But other than that, I'm not really worried about those
the
bushes.
sago palms. Okay. All right. Yeah, those, they're not too horrible. You know, you could probably go maybe the beginning of wintertime and then do a trim, and then they'll look really good, and they'll be good all the way till springtime. So, okay, no problem on that.
Yep.
These are the ones that are shorter to the ground, the dark green. They got the branches that come out, but they got these pokey things that want to poke you that are on there, but they're in all of your flower beds. Everybody's got them in all these yards. But
yeah, I guess I'll worry about them later.
yeah, that's fine. Okay. So on your bushes on the front yard, the backyard, do you want us to just do the ones that are connected to the house, or the bushes that are in all of the flower beds?
Probably just connected to the house.
Okay, so the side, the front, and the
they
back.
really block the windows and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that also depends. How much do you want us to trim down? You know, I haven't even looked to see which bushes have windows behind them. What are you thinking?
I guess how fast do they grow though?
If you were to cut them now, or trim them, you might have to trim them one more time by the end of the year, just to keep it clean for the winter time.
Okay.
But normally about every quarter, you know, you would want to do a light trim, and that light trim may only take the landscaper, you know, gosh, maybe, you know, 15 minutes per bush, 10 minutes per bush,
Oh, okay.
versus so much longer because there's so much overgrowth.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right,
So I guess, trimming to normal. I'm probably going to take a little more time than that this time
Right.
for you guys.
yeah. Now
So,
on
yeah.
these bushes, here's something else to think about, Tom. If we trim down too short, like going from top to bottom, if we trim down too short, you're not going to have the green. You're going to expose the branches. Now,
Oh,
the leaves will grow back,
okay.
but it may not grow back until next spring. So here,
oh, that's too bad. So, keep it pretty.
yeah, here's what I would do. Since we're kind of
Mm-hmm.
getting into the end of summer, I mean, not quite to the end, but the end of our big growing spurt,
Yeah.
I would trim everything
Mm-hmm.
up, but where it's still green, box it in, make it look nice and clean, and then come next springtime, then we can really cut them back, and then by the end of summer, they will have filled in. They'll be shorter, but they will have filled in with all their green.
I see. Yeah, let's go with that, I guess.
Okay, so we got the front of the house, the back of the house.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bush, a big one on the right side of the house, and I think there's one on the left side as well. Okay, so you're looking at all that. Let's see, I gotta haul stuff off too. I forgot about that. I gotta dump that. Okay, you're probably looking at $350 for all of that, because I gotta pay to dump it as well.
Okay. Okay. Sounds okay. Is that
You're breaking up.
the best?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yep.
Kevin?
Yes.
Yep. So, well, I guess I'll have to do that. Is that the best you can do? $350 for the bushes?
I could do 300 because, you know, I don't get to keep all that. I have to pay to dump it. So,
Oh,
you know,
you have to dump that. Okay.
I have
so
to
you don't
pay.
have to dump the grass?
No, not the grass. No, the grass, the grass, what I
Okay.
have to do with that
Oh,
is
I see.
the
Got
grass is going to be open discharge, but I have to go over the grass multiple times so it recuts the cut clippings to get it nice and clean. On the bushes, once I trim that, I have to put that in bags, and then I have to haul it to the dump site, and I have to pay a dump fee to dump it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. So,
And I don't know how many bags it's going to be.
Oh.
I'll probably just throw it all on the trailer, and generally a trailer load is about $25 to $35, you know, so I don't get to keep all that for my labor and paying my helpers. But I tell you what, since we're going to be doing the grass, and you know we're doing this big project, I can knock it down to 300, but Tom, that's probably about it, just because there's a lot of work, and you know we do good work, and you know we're not going to rush through it. You know, you may be out of town when we do the work, so I'll be glad to send pictures, you know, that way you know how everything looks good. And as far as the weeds on the back patio around the pool area, once we get that cleaned out, I can apply a product called Prosecutor once a month. That Prosecutor kills grass and weeds from growing. It attacks the enzymes in those two different types of things. And one spray a month will keep that pretty clean. So we can do that for you. There's a tad bit of charge of that, but I could probably let that go. And if I did weekly service for you, I don't know if you're thinking weekly or bi-weekly, but for us to come out weekly, you're looking at probably $100 because you're not quite an acre. I charge $120 on an acre. If we came out every other week, every 2 weeks, that would be $150. So there'd be a little bit of a price break, but I didn't have to stay a little bit longer because the grass will have been a little bit taller. You know what I mean? Are you there, Tom? Did he hang up? Tom, can you hear me? Hello? I can hear you breathing, I think.
Oh, hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, I was in an elevator.
Oh.
So I was broken up for about 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't hear, you were talking about the weed on the patio.
Yeah.
No problem.
That's okay. I'd probably
It's out of the elevator.
I would probably mute
Yep.
me as well. Okay, so on the back patio, once we get that cleaned off with the trimming and pulling and get it all cleaned, we can add a product once a month. It's a chemical spray, and it's called Prosecutor.
Oh, okay.
Then that way we're not back there with the trimmers, you know, hitting your tile and stuff like that. So the chemical I use on a lot of people's back patios and rock granite areas, one time a month is about all it needs. It kills the grass and the weeds from growing. It attacks the enzymes and those types of things. And I normally charge $25 a month for that. But we could probably waive that if I'm already going to do regular service, because I'll already be out here. So on regular service, did you hear my deal on the regular service, or were you already in the elevator?
No. I didn't hear that. Regular service? No. You told me it was about. I'm looking at 7580.
No.
My lot.
No, regular. No.
Oh. Okay.
Regular service.
Oh, you're talking about the.
Yeah, regular service every week to mow the grass would be 100, because you are just under an acre. You're like 0.7 something, I think, what you had mentioned.
Oh, okay,
yeah. And I normally charge 120 per acre.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, so, okay, yeah. So
I remember.
So every 2 weeks would be 150 if you wanted to do every 2 weeks. That would take me, there'd be a little bit of price break, so that it would take me a little bit longer than it would every week, because the grass will have grown a little bit more. But
got it.
Okay, so you got your numbers on the cleanup, the numbers on the bushes, and your numbers on the regular service.
Yeah, let me confirm with you. So it's 400 for the grass and 350 for the bush, and so how much for the weed? I heard it was 25 for the chemical per month.
Yeah.
For this time, how much for the weed? How much for, oh wow, that sounds a little. Yeah, you know. What I mean.
Tom, I'm not a dealer. I don't deal drugs, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it sounds weird.
I tell you what, I'm not going to charge you for the monthly service on the Prosecutor. If I'm already going to be out here doing the regular lawn service, I'm just going to include that for you. It'll just be easier that way.
Got it.
And then that'll be easier for me too, because then I won't have to worry about getting up there with the trimmer. You know, I'll make sure it looks clean, and then we move on. Yes, so 400 for the grass, 350 on the bushes. If you want it cut,
The weeds in the back.
Yeah. Oh, on the weeds in the back, are you wanting us to pull the weeds out of the flower beds, or you're talking about just the back patio?
Wait, we have weeds in the flower bed?
Brother, they're like 5 feet tall, dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably we should do that too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's not many. There's a couple of tall ones. I'll just pull those out. Don't even worry about it. The cleaning up the back patio where all the weeds on the tile are, that's part of the 400.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sounds great. So I'm probably looking at that's 750 for the first time, right?
Yeah, so that'd be 400, 350. It's 4,
Got
5,
it.
6, 7. Yeah, and then if you want weekly or bi-weekly, you just let me know at that point.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
great.
One more.
So we'll settle for the first time.
Okay. So one more bit of information for you. Anytime we do a huge project like this, we always require half up front. Now, if you're going to be here, then I don't mind waiting until we're done for you to pay us. But if you're going to be out of town, we really require half up front, and then the other half when we're done. That way we're not left without anything, and we've done all this work.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Yep, no problem.
Now we're going to go. I think we're going to plan for Wednesday morning, and it'll take us a while. It may be the only property we do that day. So we'll plan on coming out. Do you know what time the HOA allows lawnmowers to be going on?
I have to call them to ask.
Okay.
I'll ask them. I'll let you know.
Okay, because it may be like 7:30 or 8 o'clock or something.
Oh, you're afraid that it's probably too early for them?
Well, yeah, because
sure.
Because people.
You know what? I'm going to ask them.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know. If anything, I'll start at 8 o'clock as the latest. I know it'll be fine come 8 o'clock. But if they say 7, we'd like to get started at 7 just because we got a lot to do.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, so the way we could do payment, if you're not going to be here, we could set it up through Zelle Pay. That's through, I think I told you about that earlier. Yeah, okay. And if you're going to be here, it could be cash. So whatever it is you want to do on that, Tom, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'll do that. I won't be there. I'm
Okay.
sure of that.
Okay. All right, my man. Well, then let's just shoot for Wednesday morning. I'm going to hang up, and can I text you, or do you not receive text messages?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I do receive.
Same number I called you on?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to text you my email address that you can send the Zelle pay to. And then on Wednesday morning, I'll connect with you and then make sure I receive that payment. Then we'll get started. And when we're done, I'll be glad to send you pictures and you can see everything we've done. I'll make sure you look at the pictures before we leave the property, just in case there's anything we might have missed.
Yep.
Okay. And also, now the price that I gave you does not include work inside the flower bed. I just want you to know that. Like weed pulling, getting on our hands and knees and pulling weeds in the flower beds. The price I gave you does not include that. I just want you to know that. That's a separate, we can attack flower beds another day for another different price.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So what's terrible about the flower beds over there? Apart from the overgrown weeds.
That's it. They just need to be cleaned up, raked out a little bit. If we were to rake out the old mulch and rake out all the weeds and put in fresh mulch, then it would look good like everybody else's. But I mean, they're not like the end of the world. What I will do for you, Tom, is I will pull out a lot of the tall weeds. Okay. For you, the ones that are real tall, easy to bend over. I'll just grab those real quick. But I'm not going to pick up the little bitty small ones. So we could do a flower bed restoration another day for you.
Got it.
Okay. Any other questions?
That'll be all. Just shoot me the text with your email, and I'll get the payment done as soon as possible. And I'll let you know how early can you come.
Okay.
On Wednesday.
Okay. Cool deal. I meant to ask you. I don't know if I asked you before. How did you hear about us?
Yeah. I looked up on Google Maps, and I found that you guys are near and has great reviews on it.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if I had asked you that or not. Okay.
You did.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good deal. I'm glad we're able to help you out, man. And now the last guy, the last guy, I guess he just up and quit and just say, hey, I can't do it no more. Or did he give a reason why?
No, he didn't even let me know that he's quitting. So
oh, wow.
That's why I didn't know until I came 2 weeks ago that I found out that it had an overgrown problem.
You hadn't been.
So
you haven't been
about 3-4 months.
Oh, geez, you haven't been paying him this whole time, have you?
I have. I paid in advance, and he's still owing me money. So I don't know what happened to it.
Well, hopefully, we don't do that kind of business. We don't do that. We're
thank God.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
Yep.
Okay, well, hopefully you can track him down and you can get what's owed back to you, man.
Yep.
But, all right, my man, I'm gonna let you get back to your evening, and we're gonna get home too, and I will chat with you Wednesday morning.
Great.
All right, take care, Tom.
All right. You too, Kevin. Bye-bye.
All right, sir. Bye. Okay, so you guys heard all of that. I hope the volume was working on this computer. So here's a recap here. We're doing $750 for the whole thing, $400 on cutting the grass, $350 on the bushes. That was it, right? For the first time. And then after that, we'll reconvene later, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly. But he said he was okay with the numbers on weekly and bi-weekly. So that'll be good. Caden was saying, hey man, this is your foot into the door, so to speak. You get out here in this neighborhood, people are going to see your truck, going to want you to do this and that. But you have to remember, if you're doing work in a neighborhood that has, $1 million homes, a lot of those people aren't going to want to pay the prices like this guy just paid. A lot of people are going to say, I ain't paying that. There's no way in hell. They want to fly first class and pay coach. I can't take credit for that. Vela with Faith Lawn Services told me that. But, and then some don't mind paying. Obviously, he's a reasonable individual that understands, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of work, it's a big property. The guy lives in a ginormous house. So don't be Don't be nervous. Don't be intimidated to ask for those bigger prices. The worst they could do is say no. Remember, he rebutted to the 350. He says, man, that's kind of high on those bushes. Yeah, you're right, it is kind of high. Have you seen them, Tom? These bushes are tall, buddy. And so you just have to take your time. Like, well, you know, I also have to pay to dump those. He goes, oh, you have to pay to dump those? And then he said, you have to pay to dump the grass? No, we don't. So, you know, we have to pay to dump these. But what we're going to do is we'll probably run them out to my father-in-law's property so we can burn them. Pay maybe like 10, 15 bucks in gas versus, you know, however many leaves, you know, we're going to be picking up. So after we get the yard under control, then we're going to be hitting the flower beds, trimming the trees, the other types of bushes, other trees and things like that. Get his yard looking great again. If he's having problems with someone on the pool service, I can direct him to somebody that has the largest accounts in all of this area, and that's Tommy with Parrot Head Pool Service. So anyways, that's a wrap for this. This is the phone call that happened after the video that you're going to be seeing on YouTube here in a few minutes of the walkthrough. Okay, or should I just include it in both one video? I can go home, I can upload it to the computer, and this and that will be all in the same video.
No, you should do separate.
Do them separate?
Like the walkthrough. Oh,
yeah, the phone conversation.
Walkthrough and phone conversation
should be together. Okay, guys. Well, you heard it from the kid. He's running the show now. So when you see this, it'll be at the end of our conversation here with the customer. A lot of information was put out during the walkthrough with Caden and I. Those are things you want to listen to. There's no right, there's no wrong. There are just some key points to think about when you're out doing these things for yourself. And on the phone conversation, you know, you don't want to rush the phone conversation. You don't want to talk too fast. You don't want to talk too much. You know, make sure you have everything laid out, prices, this and that, what you're going to talk about. Talk about one thing at a time. It's easier that way. People on the receiving end can take that intel, they can download it, they can process it. Okay, all right, we got that. Okay, what about this? It's so much easier that way. Don't talk too fast. Don't confuse them with a ton of numbers. You know, put out some numbers, stick to those numbers. Wait for them to say, oh man, that's too high. You know, can you do any better than that? See, if he wasn't a normal person, he wouldn't have said, can you do any better than that? Because here's one thing, I could have said no. Well, actually, we stayed at 350. Most people would say, you know, no, I really can't do that.
He ended up saying 300, but he actually ended up saying 350.
Right, and then we did the total of 750 because he knew I had to pay to dump it. So you see, he was a reasonable individual. So here's the thing, when people say, well, can you do any better than that? When they say that, you can say, man, I wish I could, but you know, it's a lot of time. I got to pay to dump it, pay to this, pay to that. Then they stick to that number. When they say, no, I really need to be much lower than that, that's a different tone in their voice. Okay, that means you really need to be lower than that if you want to be lower than that if you want it. You know, or people say, okay, or people say, no, let's just never mind the bushes. Then that means they probably don't even have half the amount to pay for the bushes. So how someone responds to what you're saying, really, if you can pick up on these things, really will help you navigate through the conversation. So every conversation I have with new customers, I really take a liking to, because you can learn so much from it. And I'm hoping to download an app on my phone so I can play you guys live recordings of conversations, people coming in and calling me that I've never talked to before. These are people with estimates, people with this and that. I've downloaded a couple apps, but when I do the playback, I can't hear the other person, even though it says it records both sides of the conversation. So I don't know if I have to download it to my computer and then I can hear it. I don't really know. So I'm still searching on that, because there's a lot through phone conversation, as you can hear through this phone conversation, that you can learn a lot and a lot of other people can learn a lot from. So we're going to go ahead and call it a day. I got to get the kid paid and get him home. And I'm probably going to head home as well. Well, I need to go to my father-in-law to dump this stuff, so I may go do that. Anyways, we got one small job to do tomorrow. I'm Kevin with Texas Veteran Lawn Service. I haven't said that in a long time. Texas Veteran Power Outdoors. Why is he looking away? This is Caden. Okay, he's Caden. We'll see you guys next time.